the most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real-world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original eSport racing game. This is iRacing.
Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Turn 3 Racing Network. As tonight we are here at Homestead-Miami for championship night. We're going to crown a champion of this 8-race season here as the eSpeed Sport presents the USAFirearms.com 75. And man, is it going to be a wild race for us up here in the booth to try and keep track of all the points and how everything's gonna go down and whatnot and so on and so forth. So welcome, come on in, sit on down. Hope you all are ready to have a great night watching these outstanding drivers wheel these ARCA cars around this Homestead-Miami 1.5 mile speedway. As I mentioned, tonight is a championship night, and the point standings coming into this race looks something like this. Jeff Mills, Jeremy Root, 4 points separating those two drivers. Presley Sora not that far back behind, so anything can happen in these point standings. It is going to be up for grabs for this championship. Only one driver can walk away saying that they want the eSpeed Sports Select Series. I, for one, have no idea who it's going to be. Jeff Mills has put together a solid season with consistent finishes, but Jeremy Root, with a win under his belt, I believe he's actually got 2 wins. Not 100% sure, because I forgot to write that note down. But, man, Jeff Mills, Jeremy Root, 2 drivers who have really gotten after it all season long here tonight. Well, yeah, the season long here tonight. Good grief, KR. All right, qualifying getting ready to get underway, but before we do, here at Miami Speedway, as practice draws to a close, tonight's race is a championship night race, but the drivers and this league also want to remember a fallen comrade who passed away last fall. And eSpeed Sport and the Root Motorsports team would like to dedicate tonight's race to the memory of Mr. Philip Cooner, who was a friend to many of tonight's participants. Additionally, we send our thoughts and prayers to all affected by the COVID-19 pandemic. So tonight, though we crown a champion and remember some fallen friends, family members, fellow drivers, let's go out, have a good time as qualifying has started. Right now, the 66 and Nick Barisi out on track. That 66 machine starts to wheel and deal. 4 minutes left in this qualifying session. Several drivers are taking to the track right away. Homestead-Miami, home of the progressive banking. So we'll see these drivers running high, low, and middle all night long, with the 66 right through the middle for his qualifying lap. He's going to come around and set a time. His first time lap, good enough for second place. Presley Sora right now sitting on pole position. One of the drivers in the top 3 in the point standings. He's going to try and win this championship. We will stick around. Hopefully we'll get word from the league officials about who is finished in what championship spot. And we'll let you guys know before we sound off here tonight. The 10 machine of Edward Kane sitting in 7th place for the moment. Kane running right through the middle of the track. Looked like he got a little bit sideways there. That's going to cost him a little bit of speed. Scrubbed some off as he tried to catch it. But Edward Kane right now good enough for 6th place. The 18 machine of Jeremy Root making his way out on the track for his qualifying effort. As Root onto the front stretch and across the start-finish line. Jeremy Root right now sitting in 2nd place. So just under 2 minutes left here in this qualifying session. The 31 of Nathan Jurgensen starting to roll out on track as well. Parker Brookfield in the 26 down on the apron of the infield track. I believe he's gotten confused as to where pit lane is. That's all right, Parker. We'll not hold it against you. Everyone can get confused at night. It happens. Jeremy Root did put that 18 machine on pole. Jeff Mills has not yet qualified. So that 89 machine losing the battle for the moment for pole position to Jeremy Root. But guys, we're going to step away for our national anthem. And in honor of the league's fallen member, we will go through the league lineup in silence. So guys, no one go anywhere. We'll be back after this.
We take you down onto the track for our opening ceremonies.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise. Please remove your hats.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous flight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight's race is brought to you in part by Edward Kane, certified public accountant, USAFirearms.com, Big Time Racing League, and of course, the Yas Racing Association. Drivers have taken to the grid. That means it is time to show tonight's starting lineup. But as I said, we will observe a moment of silence in honor of Philip while going through tonight's grid. The 18 of Jeremy Root and the 75 or the 98 of Presley Sora side by side. I mentioned our first 5 laps were in honor of a fallen comrade and those being affected by the COVID-19. So the battle at the front of the field right now between the 18 and the 98 side by side here for a few laps. Nathan Jurgensen, who had something happen at the start of this race, falling all the way back into 14th spot. Whatever happened to that 31 machine seems to have righted itself. So he is up to full song, trying to work his way forward. Jeff Mills in the 89 machine came into tonight as the points leader, but just 4-point lead over Jeremy Root. That lead would evaporate should the race finish as they run right now. Mills all the way down in 16th spot. Lawrence Shaughnessy in the 9 machine, another driver who has fallen backwards here since the drop of the green flag. Shaughnessy started in 12th. Right now he finds himself in 17th place. The 71 machine of Rocky Hartpence all over his back bumper. We ride on aboard with Shaughnessy. Tire wear starting to take effect. These drivers beginning to search around this track looking for some extra grip. We have the 05 of Mason Bailey and the 66 of Nick Parisi down to the inside. That is the 35 of Bradley Yeo and 86 of Jason Jackson. The 00 machine of Blake Bottoms almost getting into Jason Jackson. He's going to take a peek to the inside coming off at turn number 4 and try and make the pass here. Meanwhile, up at the front of the field, the 26 of Parker Brookfield. Looks like he figured out where the racetrack is. He's sitting in 5th place now. So he worked his way around the 83 of Alan Wilson. So now Parker Brookfield sets his sights on the 77 of Kyle Martinson. Presley Sora, Jeremy Root sitting 1 and 2 still. Jeremy Root had led for the first 3 laps, and now Presley Sora has led for the next 7. The 86 of Jason Jackson going to lose a spot to the 54 machine of Michael Seal. And Jeff Mills in that 89 machine just not looking like he is moving forward a whole lot yet. Still a lot of laps to go as the caution flag is going to come out. The 9 of Lawrence Shaughnessy finding trouble out here. Let's go to our turn 3 instant replay and see what happened to the 9 of Shaughnessy. Just gets loose coming off at turn number 4, tries to catch it, slides back up into the racing surface, and that is going to trigger the iRacing caution. No contact made, everyone able to avoid the 9, but an early caution here at Homestead-Miami, and now we're going to set up for pit stops as the pace car has made it out onto the track. Interesting how this field will shake down. I am of the opinion that most of these guys are going to go for 4 tires. Of course, my opinion usually isn't the right one. We'll see how this all plays out. Presley Sora in the 98 makes his way onto pit lane. So our first pit stops of the night. Jeremy Root in the 18 into his stall. The 98, both drivers going right sides up. We'll see if we do 4 tires here. Couple drivers down and away. And the 98 of Presley Sora winning the race off of pit road. 4 tires for everybody. With 21 cars taking the green flag, all 21 still out there on the lead lap. And every single one of those drivers came down pit road, a very, very busy pit lane. So with that said, guys, we're going to step away for a quick break. No one go anywhere. We'll be right back after this. Lights have gone out on the pace car field, making its way down the back stretch as we get ready to go back to green flag racing. Presley Sora and Parker Brookfield going to restart on row number 1. Row 2 will be the 18 of Jeremy Root and the 96 of Brandon Sheffield. Row 3 will be the 77 of Kyle Martinson and the 05 of Mason Bailey. Pace car getting ready to make that left-hander out of the way, and Presley Sora gets on the throttle as we go green flag racing once again here at Homestead-Miami. The 26 machine easily moves into second place. Jeremy Root slides into third. Brandon Sheffield settling into 4th place. Meanwhile, side by side, Kyle Martinson, Mason Bailey. Bailey in that 05 machine going to win that battle. He is going to settle into 5th. Kyle Martinson tucks in behind him. Here comes the 83 of Alan Wilson. And let's not forget that 31 machine of Nathan Jurgensen. Now inside the top 10, he finds himself in 9th place, taking a peek down to the inside of the 74 of Harris. They're looking 3 wide down into turn number 1. Jurgensen into 7th place now as he sets his sights on the 96 and the 77. Meanwhile, Parker Brookfield and Presley Sora trying to run away from this field. Brookfield not letting him get too far away. In fact, Brookfield in the 26 was taking a peek to the inside, but spun those rear tires up just a little too much. Was able to catch it, but man, that was a close one for the 26. Mason Bailey in the 05 machine slides into 3rd place just ahead of Jeremy Root. Root now sitting in 4th. We ride on board with the 18 machine. Mason Bailey in that 05 trying to work his way forward. The 26 of Parker Brookfield taking a peek to the inside for the race lead. As Brookfield and Sora side by side down the back stretch. Brookfield has a little bit of an advantage. drives it in deep into the corner, and that 26 now going to slide up in front of the 98 and take over the top spot. So Parker Brookfield looking to lead his first lap of the race. But Presley Sora in that 98 not going to let him get too far away. Sora taking a slight peek to the inside, but didn't have enough for it. And now the 26 going to try and run away from the 98. Looking out the back of the 26 of Brookfield. That is the 05 of Mason Bailey closing in. Jeremy Root in the 18 machine sitting in fourth. Kyle Martinson in fifth. Nathan Jurgensen has made it all the way up into sixth place now. About ready to crack the top five once again. Jurgensen fell all the way back to 14th spot on lap one of this race, and then wasted no time working his way forward, as we're going to have 54 laps left in this race. Parker Brookfield in that 26 machine, opening up almost a half a second gap over Presley Sora. Blake Bottoms in the 00, hounding the 54 machine of Michael Seal. Edward Kane in the 10, trying to that outside lane around the 35, but looked like he drove it in a little too deep, had to lift, broke all his momentum, so Edward Kane losing a little bit of ground. Lawrence Shaughnessy in the 9, who went for a self-spin to bring out the first caution here tonight. Right now sitting in 18th place, the 69 of Daniel Very in 21st. He is the last car on the lead lap. But right now, that 26 machine of Parker Brookfield really flexing some muscle, opening up the biggest lead we've seen here tonight as we're working lap 25 of 75. Want to check in on Jeff Mills in the 89 machine. Mills, who started deep in this field, came into tonight as the points leader in the final race of this championship, trying to work his way forward. The 96 of Brandon Sheffield, who started up towards the front. These two drivers now meeting in a battle for 11th and 12th place. And I do want to introduce a special guest if he is ready, and that is none other than Roger Muth. Roger, you ready for this?
Oh, absolutely, KR. A little late here to the Homestead-Miami Speedway, but we are here, and these boys are green flag racing. An absolute beautiful 1.5-mile track here at Homestead under the lights. Where else would you rather be on a Wednesday night watching some of these ARCA cars here for these boys?
Oh, man, and not only that, championship night as well. So right now, the 26 of Parker Brookfield out in front of the field. He's led for the last 8 laps. Presley Sora, who's sitting in second place in that 98 machine, has led for 15 laps here tonight. Then Jeremy Root in the 18 machine sitting in fourth has led for 3 laps. Outside of that, we've only had 1 caution, Roger, so you haven't missed a whole lot of carnage. That's going to come later on tonight, as we will have the final championship season demolition derby after this race concludes.
Yeah, and I got to say, I absolutely love tuning in here on a Wednesday night tonight. I get to come up here and at least finish off the season with you. There's a little bit of a battle right now back here in that 13th position. Nick's got that Miller Lite 66 machine right there in front of Wilson in his 83. They were able to single file that out there pretty quickly, but now here comes Wilson. He's going to take a peek to the inside here out of turn number 4. Will he be able to carry the momentum down the straightaway? It looks like he will not. And that Apollo SS, he will have to go back to running behind that 66.
The 89 of Jeff Mills has moved into 11th place. He worked his way around that 96 of Sheffield. So Mills continuing to march forward. You know, I don't want to say a whole lot, Roger, but a championship was on the line with Jeff Mills in the 89. He came into tonight with a 4-point lead over Jeremy Root. And I'm not sure what happened to the 89 or if he wanted to try and not qualify and see how well he could do. But Jeff Mills didn't take a qualifying lap.
Well, that is an interesting strategy for this man right here. You know, in a championship battle, I would have, for myself at least, tried to attempt to qualify the machine and not start shotgun to the field. But he's worked his way halfway through here tonight up to that 11th position. Behind them, they are kind of battling it out. Nick in the 66 is now going to look here off of turn number 4. But it doesn't look like he will have the momentum built up in that Ford Taurus. It's probably because it was a Ford. But regardless of that, he is running in that 13th position now.
Right behind them a little bit, that's the 86 of Jason Jackson. Jason Jackson came in this race starting in 9th. Right now he finds himself in 15th. So one of those drivers who has worked his way backwards. Lawrence Shaughnessy, another one of those who has fallen back. But we got these 5 cars here all running nose to tail, and a whole lot of drivers trying to make something happen, as that is Alan Wilson in the 83 taking a peek to the inside as the 66 and Nick Barisi goes way up to the wall.
Yeah, as that battle also rages on. For a moment, it looked like Carroll was going to take that 99 machine, and he will now to the inside here on Martinson. Will he be able to make that pass? That Rowdy Energy almost making contact there between those two drivers. It was so close, you maybe would have been able to put a piece of paper between those drivers. They were able to keep it, you know, pretty straight there, but that's going to allow Harris in the 74 to also creep into this. So pick your poison here. Are you a Rowdy Energy fan or a Monster Energy fan? Because they are battling now for that 7th and 8th position as they come down the backstretch. See if they were able to single file it out. Harris trying to work his way back in the line there in front of Michael Seal. So there's 4 cars right there, nose to tail, for the 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th position here.
Michael Seal taking us on board his 54 machine, sending it down into turn number 1. Alex Harris drove in a little bit deep there. We'll see if that works for him coming up off the corner. Kyle Martinson in that 77 machine running nose to tail here. It's the 74 now is going to step out and send it down to the inside. We got one slow up into the wall. I'm not sure who that is.
Yeah, I don't know who was up into the wall there. I am looking at the timing and scoring, and it looks like the 18 of Root, though, is a little bit slower down the front straightaway that time. It looked like about 4, almost 5 miles an hour slower in his 18. US, I believe, is that USA Firearms.com number 18. I don't know if he was in the wall or not, but he was slower down the straightaway last time on the front straightaway.
Yeah, that blue car looking like it was the one that got into the wall. Fortunately, it doesn't look like the damage is too intensive. So another championship contender having a bit of an issue here at Homestead-Miami. This 5th place right now for the 18 of Jeremy Root may not be good enough to get the job done, as Presley Soares sitting up in 2nd place.
Yeah, nothing has changed at the front of the field. It's still Parker Brookfield out front. Presley is sitting there 2nd. Mason Bailey is sitting 3rd. Nathan is sitting in that 4th position in his 31, and then Jeremy Root is sitting there now, position number 5, as everybody has started to spread themselves out here on lap number 36 out of the 75 scheduled here for the championship night from Miami Speedway. Under the lights, no other place fitting to wrap up a season.
Mason Bailey solidly in 3rd place, really trying to figure out if he wants to battle that 98 of Presley Soares for 2nd or not. Parker Brookfield, though, enjoying that nice, clean, crisp, cool Miami air out in front of this field. Brookfield has now led for the last 18 laps. We've only had one caution here tonight. We are starting to tick the laps down as we're coming up on the halfway point. So we got 38 laps to go.
38 laps to go in a championship on the line, looking to find where is Jeff Mills. He is still running in that 11th position currently on the track. He is sitting 4.9 seconds, call it 5 seconds back off the race lead of Brookfield, and everybody still continues to be single file out. Wonder at this point, KR, I joined a little bit late here. What's the tire run for so far here on this stretch?
Well, we had that caution come out with about 18 laps in the books, and everyone came down, took 4 tires. So our best lap was a 32.937 by Parker Brookfield. Right now he's turning a 33.685, so creeping up on 1 second fall off after turning 25 laps since this restart. So, you know, my rule of thumb is when you start seeing drivers get around that 1.5 to 2 second mark, their tires start really screaming at them.
Yeah, as it looks like Jeff Mills now actually picks up that 10th position over Blake in his 00 machine. So the Fox FedEx 98 now into the top 10 for the first time here tonight. Gonna have to keep an eye on those tires. I was wondering about the tires because this Miami Speedway is very abrasive. It does take a lot of the tire life off these cars through the corners. You're going to maybe start to see these guys just kind of up the track. You won't see them up there running the old wall line here at Miami tonight in these cars, but you will definitely see them start to move up the track just a tad once the tires start to wear out. Then this track, you're going to tell who saved the tires for the long run and who abused them a little bit early on. Maybe Jeff started at the back of the field, allowed all of his competition to go up there, beat up the tires, and wear them out. Now as he starts to creep his way through the field.
He has cracked the top 10, and Jeff Mills, one of those drivers that has put together a season of consistency, finishing well in every race despite what goes on around him. But right now, we're riding on board Parker Brookfield, looking out the back as these drivers throughout this field really continue to try and size each other up. The 18 of Jeremy Root still holding on to 5th place, but Chris Carroll really trying to creep in and make something happen for this battle for the top 5.
Yeah, but running a little bit farther back in the field, I've been watching this driver running in the 18th spot. It's the 71 of Rocky. He's got that eSpeed Sport Machine. He was looking down on the inside of the 9 here of Lawrence, but was not able to, make it stick. But right now here, he's going to get another run off the corner, but it just doesn't seem to be enough. It looks like he can get the car to turn, just does not have the speed to drive underneath and take the position.
Lawrence Shaughnessy in that 9 really able to carry the momentum up towards the wall. The 71 of Rocky Hartpence able to turn the car, as you mentioned, but just can't match the speed that the 9 has. And right now, those two are battling in 17th and 18th spot. Edward Kane in the 10 machine right behind them, watching this all go down. Edward Kane, one of those drivers who has picked up a Demolition Derby win. He would like nothing more than to be able to try and win a race as well. The 9 of Shaughnessy throwing a block on the 71 of Rocky Hartpence, though, down the front stretch.
Yeah, and just a little bit farther off behind them, you're going to find that 32 of DJ Kinner. He is sitting back here in his USA Firearms.com 32. That's a beautiful looking paint scheme back here. He right now runs 13.5 seconds behind your race leader of Brookfield. Right now, just taking a peek, it looks like it's almost a straightaway and call it 1 corner difference for the driver of the 32 all the way to your leaders that are up front.
Parker Brookfield still leading this thing, but the 05 of Mason Bailey has moved into 2nd place. The 98 of Presley Soar now sitting in 3rd. Nathan Jurgensen has moved into 4th place. He started on a pole, coming down the backstretch, ran into some sort of problem, fell all the way down to 14th place, and here he is sitting in 4th as he continues to try and recover that lost ground.
Yeah, but as you talk about him, right behind them, these two are coming hot on the heels, and they are coming in a hurry. Last time by, your fastest driver on the track was Jeremy Root in the number 18 machine. Remember, he was into the outside wall not too long ago. Now has found a kind of a late race pace, and now it's going to be that 3-car little nose-to-tail battle for that 4th, 5th, and 6th position. Chris Carroll also right there in that battle in the 99.
Chris Carroll in that blue 99 machine almost got into the back of the 18 of Root. Carroll carries a lot more speed into the corner than Root does, but Root able to have that momentum coming up off the corner. Meanwhile, Alex Harris in the 74 machine sitting in 7th place, watching this 3-car battle go down, as we're going to go on board with the 74 of Harris. And you see what it's like here on the front stretch, crowd full of people watching you. So while you're out turning laps, this 74 is getting to watch a heck of a race in front of him as well.
Yeah, there's nothing more than I like, though, than these ARCA cars right here at Homestead. It's probably one of my favorite setups, and I'm watching the 35 now here at Neo. Look to the inside here on Sheffield. That'll be for the 13th and 14th position. It looks like Sheffield's tires here on this run have now been used, as his race pace has fallen off there at that about 2.5 from his best time here tonight. It was the 33.1. Last time by was sitting roughly right around the 34.4.
Bradley working over the 96 of Brandon as they battle into turns 1 and 2. You see the 96 wash up a little bit. Here comes the 35, right, with a good run through the middle of the corner down onto the back stretch, but that higher lane proving to hold out. The 96 of Sheffield holding on to 13th spot for the moment.
Question is, how long will Sheffield be able to hold off that 35? Because it looks like that Ford Taurus is going to get another good run down the straightaway here. He's going to take a peek here once again. Will he be able to hold it? He's going to actually slide it. It's going to force Sheffield up the track. Sheffield's going to have to go run the way high line. He's going to have to be careful. Nobody's been up there in quite some time. And there goes Neo in that 35 machine down to the inside, but it will be a dead horse race down into the next corner here in turn number 3.
The 35 machine has the advantage for the moment, as Sheffield in the 96 going to tag the wall. He gets into it. That's going to pinch the 83 down of Alan Wilson. Jason Jackson able to squeeze by as well. So Sheffield losing several spots as he scraped that wall. Meanwhile, up at the front of the field, the 05 of Mason Bailey starting to close in on the 26 of Parker Brookfield. This battle for the race lead starting to heat up.
But now coming closer and closer to just 20 to go here on championship night. This is a 2-horse race at the front of the field. They have about a 2.5 seconds over the 98 back there sitting in 3rd. How far did Parker, or how hard did Parker run those tires for him to get so far out in front is going to be the question. Will he be able to hang on? But taking just a moment here to go back to that Sheffield kind of situation there. Remember, on these new version 7 tires, if you put too much heat into that front right tire with these ARCA Menards cars, they will push like a dump truck, and that's pretty much what we just saw there by Sheffield. I'm taking a look at his car pretty closely. I don't see too much damage done to that. The right front still looks pretty good. I think the right rear is actually what took the most damage, the right rear quarter panel.
Back at the front of the field, the 05 of Mason Bailey took a peek to the inside of the 26, just not able to get the run off of turn number 2. He needed to take over the top spot. Brookfield fending him off for the moment, but Bailey all over the back bumper once again. He's going to take a peek to the inside down into turn number 1. Brookfield shuts the door on him, and Bailey doesn't really check up a little bit, but now back into the throttle from the middle of the corner on out, side by side at corner exit. Brookfield's going to try and send it off into turn number 3, maybe even pull off a asphalt slide job. But no, that 05 stays down to the inside, the 26 of Brookfield. Now, once again, they're going to drag race off the corner and head for the start-finish line.
At the start finish line, it will be Brookfield once again, but I'm taking a peek. It looked like a little bit of a slide that time out of turn number 4 for the driver of that 26 of Parker Brookfield. Will he be able to hang on to it here out of turn 2? It looks like a much better run that time. Bailey going to step out just a little bit. Behind them, there's also that battle with the 31. Here comes the 18. All these drivers under a little bit of a blanket. Here comes the 99 of Chris Carroll now trying to take over the 5th position as they still battle side by side for your race lead.
Carroll has the advantage for the moment in 4th place. Jeremy Root on his outside. Mason Bailey and Parker Brookfield battling as well. And Bailey going to seal the deal this time. Takes over the race lead off of turn number 2 down the Homestead-Miami backstretch. Mason Bailey into 3 and 4. Brookfield send it in deep, but I think Bailey has been able to beat him from the middle of the corner on off.
Well, that's where you would like to get your runs here tonight. And now Mason Bailey takes control here of this race. It'll be 19 laps to go here tonight in your USAFirearms.com 75 championship race from Miami Homestead. A championship is on the line, and Parker Brookfield knows that he has to go for gold to see if he can put himself in victory lane, as he was super sideways that time out of turn number 2. It'll be 18 laps to go here next time by for your race leader of Mason Bailey.
So Mason Bailey starting to put some space between him and the 26. Meanwhile, space is at a premium for 4th place. Jeremy Root, Chris Carroll all over his back bumper. Root now trying to get around the 98 of Presley Sora. This pass here will have championship implications. Jeremy Root will take over the top spot in the points. Presley Sora came in 12 points behind Jeff Mills in the battle here tonight. Jeremy Root was only 4 points behind him, but now Root going to dive down to the inside on the front stretch. Presley Sora, who has led some laps here, may have burned up his tires trying to outrun this field, as Chris Carroll going to use that opening that the 18 of Jeremy Root left for him.
Yeah, that Indy Auto Sports machine now starting to fade on this long run. It'll be 16 laps to go here at the 1.5 mile Miami Homestead Speedway. And this time by, will Presley be able to hang on to a top 5 spot? Looking a little bit farther back behind him, just a couple car lengths now, is going to be Nathan in his 31 Chevy Impala. Will he be able to come around Presley to take over the 5th position? It looks like Presley not able to get down into the corner, as well as Nathan in his 31 machine. Those two out in front of them are now starting to drive away as they go down the backstretch.
Jurgensen looks like maybe he has used up a whole lot of good of his tires as he tried to surge through this field, and he did an excellent job. You know, coming from 14th all the way up to 4th and now falling to 6th place. That's very difficult to do at Homestead. A lot of room out on the racetrack, but in a fixed setup like this is, everyone running the same setup, it really comes down to tire management. And I think that 31 maybe pushed it a little bit too hard. Same story with that 98 as he's fallen into the clutches of Jurgensen.
Yeah, a little bit farther back, though, another one of those championship hopefuls of Jeff Mills is looking to the inside here on Seal, and it looks like he will be able to pick up now the 9th position. The question being, though, this time by, it'll be 14 laps to go for your race leader of Mason Bailey. Does Jeff Mills have enough time, as now here comes Nick in the 66 Miller Lite Ford Taurus. He'll look to the inside on Seal down in turn number 1.
Nick Parisi in that 66, almost getting into the 54 machine of Michael Seal, but Nick Parisi solidly into 10th place now as those cars get single file and race down into turn number 3. Jeff Mills sitting in 9th place, but he is closing in on Kyle Martinson and closing in quickly.
Yeah, I'm just taking a quick look here through the notes that our timing and scoring is displaying. Right now, your biggest mover through the field is your race leader of Mason Bailey. He is up from the 17th position. KR, is that absolutely correct?
I don't believe so, but
Well, then timing and scoring is lying to me.
no. He did start 17th.
Oh, see, I got something right today.
I don't think he turned a qualifying lap, but he had a heck of a start and a great pit stop to put himself in this position.
Pretty good so far for Mason Bailey. Looking at it, it looks like he has a little over a half a second gap back to Parker Brooksfield. See if Parker's able to hang on to at least a second place finish as the laps close down. And I'm looking at last time by, it looks like your fastest car out there on track was actually this guy named Carroll running there in that third position. Him and Root were actually the fastest two on track. Now this time by, now it changes again. Now it's going to be Bailey as the fastest car, and then Brookfield, and then Carroll. So 1, 2, and 3, your three fastest cars coming to get 10 to go next time by.
This race winding down this season, winding down. Right now we only have one car off in pit road. That is the 69 of Daniel Very. Lawrence Shaughnessy, first car 1 lap down. Rocky Hartpence in the 71 machine sitting in 19th place. He is the last car on the lead lap. Edward Kane just ahead of him sitting in 18th. Kane in a 3-car battle here with the 32 of DJ Kiner and the 83 of Alan Wilson. As you mentioned, we're going to have 10 laps to go. This race really, it's going quick, man. I was hoping for a long one because I don't want this season to end.
Well, you're going to be a lap closer. It'll be 9 laps to go for Mason Bailey here on championship night. Who will be the winner? Who will be the championship driver being crowned here tonight? It now looking like Brookfield kind of pulled him in just a little bit last time by. The question being, though, does he have anything left? We talked about the tires here on the Arca Menards car, the version 7 tires. At this point in this run, they are absolutely used and abused, and now you're hanging on. We saw Brookfield a couple laps ago slip and slide when he got passed by Bailey. I'm just wondering how much tire is really left on anybody's car, because I'm even looking through the field, and Nick Arisi is sliding in his 66 here, as now he looks to the inside on Jeff Mills for that 9th position again.
Mason Bailey really came off of turn number 4 there, all sorts out of shape. That has allowed the 26 of Parker Brookfield to close in on him in a hurry. That lead got cut from 0.7 seconds all the way down to 0.2. So Parker Brookfield is there, putting that pressure on the 05 with 7 laps to go. Now the 26 taking a peek to the inside. Mason Bailey not able to get into the corner very strong, and Brookfield looked like maybe he checked up a bit to allow Bailey to get through. Well, I shouldn't say to get through, but Brookfield maybe misjudged how much that 05 was going to have to slow up for the corner.
Yeah, now they're going to separate. It looks like Brookfield going to go to the high side, try and carry a little more momentum, maybe a crossover move here. He will not at the start-finish line. He will have to fall right back behind. Now into turn 1, he shows the nose. Both drivers going to wiggle a little bit. See the flames coming out of the right sides of both of these cars as they're off the gas. Almost contact here off of turn 2. Brookfield was sliding towards that left rear there of the 05 of Bailey, but they were able to keep them off each other. Now Brookfield's going to really throw her down here into turn number 3 as they will go side by side through the corner of 3 and 4. Contact a little bit off 4. They are door banging off of turn 4 as they drag race back to the start finish line to get 5 laps to go.
Parker Brookfield, and now Mason Bailey's going to get turned, but somehow Mason Bailey holds on to it, and Brookfield's going to take over the top spot. Chris Carroll in the 99 closing in on Bailey. Now I wonder if that 05 is in a world of hurt with his tires shot now. Here comes Jeremy Root in the 18 machine as well.
Yeah, the tires are definitely screaming at this point. They were not happy with that little bit of a slide. Look at the slide here by Root. He had to lift a little in corner exit. Otherwise, he was going to go right up into that 05. Mason Bailey, you can tell the car, it's not just the tires now that car is coming to a slow here with 4 laps to go tonight in the final race of the season. It is not going to be Bailey's night.
No, Mason Bailey slowed down the backstretch. Hopefully he'll be out there for the Demolition Derby that's going to take place on the backstretch here when this race is done and over with. So I hope you guys stick around for that, the final Demo Derby of the season. But right now it is all Brookfield, as we're going to have 3 laps to go. Chris Carroll and Jeremy Root closing in very quickly on this 26.
Yeah, you saw the contact there with Bailey and Brookfield. The question being, how much damage did it do? Maybe we can't see it to the naked eye because we're going to get 2 to go. Caution flag on the speedway. It looks like Mason Bailey may have been around down on the apron.
Let's go to our turn 3 instant replay here and see what happened. I'm not 100% sure that that one is Mason Bailey, as he is way down on the access roads here. In fact, part of the road course. So as he works his way through, we'll see where it went wrong for him. But no, it was not him. He was just down on the access road, so I'm not sure where that caution came from.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to look through the field here. And everybody looks pretty good, so
I'm wondering if just because he was down on the road course part that it triggered something in iRacing. That would be the first time I've seen that. So with 3 to go, we're going to have a green-white checkered attempt. Everyone going to get 4 fresh tires. Somebody might even try 2, although I think that would be a very bold move, as they were out there for 60 laps. 4 tires, I feel, is going to be the way to go. But what do I know? Let's figure out how this is going to play out. The 26 into his pit stall, the 99 hitting it at the same time. Jeremy Root in the 18 machine, Nathan Jurgensen, everyone into their stalls, and tires are going on to these ARCA Menards race machines.
And looking to see, it looks like 1 driver stayed out on track, but there were a couple drivers that did take that 2-tire stop. Chris Carroll gonna go with a 2-tire stop. Brookfield gets 4. Looks like Blake comes out with his TRD 40th anniversary machine. He only took 2 tires. Everybody else through the field, 4 tires. So we got a couple different drivers on different strategies here for this green-white checker.
That we do, and 1 driver who did not come down pit road, the 66 and Nick Parisi. We'll see if he hits pit road this time, but he is going to be about 2 seconds slower out there. And that to me just doesn't seem like a good idea.
Yeah, he could be playing a little bit of a strategy here. You know, maybe he doesn't think you're going to get off turn number 2. Now, KR, not familiar with the league. Do they have the option to go on green, or can they go whenever the pace car dives in, or must they wait on the green flag?
It is a leader's choosing of when to go, and gentleman's rule, kind of let the pace car get out of the way.
Well then, so Nick will have the ability to kind of jump the restart or wait. A lot of guys, when they're in this situation, they will try to jump the restart as soon as they can to get that launch in case a caution flag were to come out, that they would be out in front of the field. We will see here once we get to that point if he will do that or if he will wait. Sometimes even waiting throws your competition off just a little bit.
We are going to go into a green-white checkered attempt here tonight. Nick Parisi staying out, not coming down pit road. The 99 of Chris Carroll, a 2-tire stop for that machine. And then 4 tires for the 26 of Parker Brookfield. Brookfield, who led the most laps here tonight at 40, having another shot at trying to win this thing. Then the 00 Blake Bottoms, that was a 2-tire stop for that machine. And then what I think would be our championship leader at the moment, the 18 of Jeremy Root, taking the conservative move here, going for 4 tires. As the lights go out on the pace car, we're getting ready to stack them up. and send them off one more time.
So it'll be one attempt at a green-white checker here, and it's no tires that will restart the field. Then it's 2 tires on Carroll, 4 tires on Brookfield, bottoms with 2 tires. That's your front 2 rows. Who will get the jump? We'll find out next time by out of turn number 4. Just gonna be either one. Well, I guess it's actually first one to the flag wins.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting time, but like I said, guys, don't go anywhere after this race is over. We're going to try and figure out who our champion is. Not only that, but we're going to have the Demolition Derby, and that is always a fun time. Like Roger said, he's just happy to be here for that one.
Absolutely can't wait for that.
All right, Roger, this one's all yours. Take it for this green flag restart.
iRacing pace car looking to dive in and is on pit road. The green flag is going to wait for the final time this year. Nick is going to get the restart that he needed. The 99 is going to get hooked. That is the yellow flag that Nick Parisi needed here at Homestead.
Chris Carroll tried to spin his tires up to speed, and they just did not have the grip he needed out of them. Let's go to our turn 3 instant replay and watch this one once again as the 99 and the 66 try to get rolling. That 66 did a good job of getting up to speed. The 99 spun his tires there, and then the 00 is going to get into him and finish him off. Nathan Jurgensen in the 31 goes spinning through the grass. So chaos and calamity here as they restarted the 66 and Nick Parisi. He's going to be able to hold on to it for the moment. And that 26 of Parker Brookfield. In fact, I think we're in the final lap. I do not believe we're going to get another green-white checkered attempt. So the 66 and Nick Parisi, in a very bold strategy move, is going to end up winning this thing.
Yeah, so that staying out, like I said, you know, just hoping that the caution flag was going to wave, and it's going to go into Nick Parisi's favor. It'll be Parker Brooksfield coming in second and Jeremy Root in third. Presley going to bring the 98 machine home fourth. Alex Harris will come across the line, then scored in that 5th position.
So Jeremy Root finishing 3rd and Presley Sora finishing 4th, with Sora leading some laps. I'm not 100% sure how that championship battle is going to finish out, especially with Jeff Mills finishing in 7th place. So that is going to be a one that I hope the race admins will get back to me on so we can let you know who the champion is. But right now, the 66 of Nick Parisi, your race winner, coming down onto the front stretch to celebrate in a burnout with his win here in the final race of the season, and a bold strategy call for that 66 played out in his favor. So as the 66 celebrates, I'm going to try and see if I can track down an admin and figure out who is going to actually be our championship winner. Maybe we'll find out, but as the drivers start to line up on the front stretch here for the Demolition Derby, Roger, I don't know if you got a good angle yet on this, but they're going to start tearing some cars up here before too long as everyone's waiting patiently for this.
Yeah, I thought I had a good blimp shot, but obviously I don't. So we're going to have to zoom it out just a little bit as these guys... I mean, I watch it every week as it looks like it's going to start here early and often with some big hits. Brooksfield going to be up on top of that 05 of Bailey. And, oh boy, look at the bumpers flying. Here comes the 9 in for a good hit. Looks like he's going to end up with some right front damage. Hood's going to fly open. Absolute carnage.
The cars are everywhere. A big stack up of the cars. Here come the 32 of Kiner and the 83 of Wilson. They're going to add the damage as well. Right now, the 18 of Jeremy Root. Ooh, and that was the 96 of Sheffield. Full reverse, smashing into this group of cars. The 77 of Kyle Martinson, his back bumper hanging on by a thread. Lawrence Shaughnessy smashing into Edward Kane. And boy, I'll tell you, Roger, this is some good fun. I wish we were down there with them.
Yeah, you wouldn't last more than 30 seconds down there, KR, but, you know, we'll keep that between us here in the booth. A lot of drivers right now. It looks like the 05 of Bailey is missing a left front. Oh, now it reappeared on my screen. Sometimes things happen. A hard hit there from the 32 to that number 18 of Root. Root gets her kind of pointed at, oh, a huge hit from the 96, and the 96 gonna do a little bit of a side dance and land back on the wheels, and he's just gonna reverse on out of there for a moment.
Yeah, drivers trying to back out, get some speed up as the 83 of Wilson and the 26 of Brookfield are gonna meet butt to butt. And now Brookfield gonna smash into the 9 of Shaughnessy. Kyle Martinson in reverse. Here comes Sheffield as he is really in full song reversing through that front stretch. Rocky Hartpence in the 71, not moving a whole lot. He has been stuck as he has no steering and can't get rolling. We got a few more cars making more contact down here as they run around. Oh, and the 31 of Jurgensen, he's going to end up turtle shelled.
Yeah, that time Sheffield did not swing and miss when he got a head of steam coming his way, or their way down the front straightaway here. A lot of guys have pulled their cars off the track. Here comes Sheffield once again to the 83. Hard hit to the rear. I think that time it may have damaged that left rear, though, for Sheffield. See if on your screen it's showing what it does on mine. It looks like a complete flat tire, but now it reappears again.
Sheffield once again full reverse. He's looking for a victim to hit, and it's going to be DJ Kiner, and this time Sheffield climbing up over the side of the 32. We got another one upside down on their lid. Can't quite tell who that is. I believe that is the 77 of Kyle Martinson, and it is. He is going to back out. He is done and over with. The 66 and Nick Barisi celebrated his first win of the season and looks like he is stalled out here in the Demolition Derby. Sheffield in the 96 going to get some help from Alan Wilson. Gets on 4 tires, starts rolling forward, and he is going to dodge the 26 of Brookfield. We're down to just a handful of cars left in this one. The 05 of Mason Bailey having a hard time controlling his as that right front is no longer attached.
Yeah, as they're going to lose a bumper there for Sheffield, and the hood's going to fly up on Mason Bailey's car. Both front tires on that Arca Menards Impala. I think he may now have came to a rest there as he is stuck into the grass. Only a couple other drivers. It looks like Sheffield trying to get another wind up here. His car looks fairly good, yet he's going to go down there. Swing and a miss for Sheffield, and he's going to swing and a miss once again. They're on the 83 of Wilson.
Alan Wilson, he's going to run over his left front tire. Here comes Sheffield, and he's going to take out the radiator in that 83. Somehow it keeps going, but man, there is no left front tire on that 83 machine, and Sheffield backed up once again, trying to look for a victim, and just misses the 32 of DJ Kiner.
So it comes down, it looks like just 4 drivers right now remaining here tonight to see who can win this demo derby for the final time this season. Here comes Sheffield with a huge hit. He's going to hit 2 of them, and then another huge hit there. I believe that was the 32 of DJ coming in there with a hit in the opposite direction. Now Parker's car is definitely wounded. It is limping, and I believe his motor has just expired on his 26 as he is officially out of this one.
So Brandon Sheffield, Alan Wilson, and DJ Kiner left in this one. Alan Wilson having a hard time to get rolling. He might be having to call it a night as he just cannot get any traction. Here comes Sheffield, and Sheffield with a right hook is going to send Alan Wilson up and over. And man, Sheffield came in like a wrecking ball.
Yeah, it looks like, though, Wilson was able to come back down on his wheels, but rear-to-rear contact there from Sheffield. And DJ and both cars look like they're still moving. Sheffield going to try and run away for a moment, see where he can go run and hide. He's going to go after Wilson, as Wilson actually has got that 83 unstuck from the grass. And here comes DJ with a huge hit to the front nose there on Alan Wilson. And it looks like Wilson's sparking still actually moving that 83 somehow.
Kiner dodged a heavy impact that would have been coming his way from the 83 of Alan Wilson. There are just 3 drivers left, and Sheffield again coming in and making a heavy impact with Wilson. The back end of Sheffield's car proven to be fairly indestructible, as he has been using that all night long in this demolition derby. But here comes Kiner, not letting Sheffield get another run. Kiner really going to send in a big impact.
Yeah, now they're both going to go flat to the floor down the front straightaway. Here comes a huge impact. Looks like that's going to do, heavy damage. Sheffield's actually going to go for a little bit of a barrel roll. Somebody's motor expires. I believe that was the 83 of Wilson. So that just leaves 2 here on the front straightaway. Let's figure out who can win this one. Sheffield looks like he's trying to get a good run, but here comes DJ just running him down, going to spin him around. Now we're going to have to do it all over again.
Down to just 2 left in this demolition derby. Brandon Sheffield and DJ Kiner. Kiner chasing after Sheffield. And Sheffield's going to get on the brakes. Here comes Kiner, and man, was that an impact right there at the start-finish line. And Sheffield able to survive that one. DJ Kiner also now trying to track him down. Kiner up to full speed, going to miss him. Grab the brake and try and reset, but here comes Sheffield.
Little contact there, rear to rear. Just going to spin Sheffield around. Trying to see if they can get a good hit. Here comes DJ looking to try and run down Sheffield. Sheffield going to try and bob and weave. He is not going to be able to. Hard contact there to the driver's side door, but DJ going to blow up that right front fender, and I believe it now pushed the shock out that front right, so that car is going to be limping here.
Kiner in the 32 rolling up backwards. He's got a target in mind, and that is Brandon Sheffield, and he is going to smash into him right there at pit entrance. Heavy impact at the back end. These 2 cars proven to be very durable at their rear bumpers, and they are delivering very heavy impacts and yet are able to keep on going.
Another impact coming between both drivers. DJ going to go for a little bit of a barrel roll. Where will he land? It's on his roof. Will Sheffield be nice enough to flip him back over, or will it be Sheffield backing out and leaving DJ on the lid? And it looks like Sheffield's just going to do some donuts here at Miami on the front straightaway after this one.
And the 96 going to be your demolition derby winner by a technical knockout, as DJ Kiner goes wheels up to settle this thing out. And guys, I do want to point out, Jeremy Root was your championship winner here in this select series, and hope you all enjoyed the show. Thank you very much for joining us. And Roger, appreciate you coming by and saying hello here tonight. What'd you think of that demo derby?
Well, it was something straight out of the we're just going to call it the demo derby side of things here for these drivers in their final race for the eSpeed Sport. KR, thanks, though, for letting me come up here tonight, and I got to thank all the admins over here for this group. I've been trying to join KR yourself here for, I believe it might have been the last 3 weeks. Finally, we get through here on the final night of things, and, well, it was a good one here from the Homestead-Miami Speedway.
that it was, and nothing left but to go through the results. Nick Barisi picking up his first win of the season in that 66 with an outstanding strategy call. Parker Brookfield finishing in second. Third place here in the race, but first in the championship, the 18 of Jeremy Root. Presley Sora finishing in fourth. Fifth place going to none other than Alex Harris. Sixth going to Kyle Martinson. Seventh, Jeff Mills. Eighth, Bradley Yeo. Michael Seal finishing ninth. 10th, Jason Jackson. Brandon Sheffield finishing 11th. 12th will be Edward Kane. 13th, Alan Wilson. Rocky Hartpence finishing in 14th. 15th will be DJ Kiner. 16th, Lawrence Shaughnessy. 17th, Nathan Jurgensen. Chris Carroll in the 99 machine going to finish in 18th. Blake Bottoms finishing 19th. 20th going to Mason Bailey, and the 69 of Daniel Very going to finish in 21st here tonight. So guys, thank you so much for joining us, and I hope you all had a great time watching the Demolition Derby and the racing. All 8 races of the season done and over with. Jeremy Root coming out on top. Make sure you guys stick around for Turn 3 Racing Network to pick up more eSpeed Sport racing action here in the coming weeks. And so until we see you next time, y'all stay safe. Have a good night.